On Tuesday evening, I'll deliver my State of the Union address, where I'll lay out my blueprint for actions we need to take together.
Tonight is President Obama's third formal State of the Union address. He has a huge stage, all the networks broadcast it, and it's watched by millions of people around the country. So, Jen, what should we expect tonight?
The White House is keeping a pretty tight lid on what's going to be said during the State of the Union, but there are a couple of details that have come out already, namely that the theme of this speech this year is going to be fairness. And if anybody wanted to have a drinking contest with the State of the Union, I would suggest drinking every time the word fair comes up. He gave a speech in Kansas a couple of months ago that is going to reflect a lot of the same things in the State of the Union.
There's been a raging debate over the best way to restore growth and prosperity, restore balance, restore fairness.
The main message is going to be people deserve a fair shake, and everybody also needs to give back.
Everybody please have a seat.
Last year they had bipartisan seating in a sign of unity after the shooting of Representative Gabby Giffords, and this year they're talking about doing it again. I think there's been a bunch of people who've signed on to that idea.
There's about 187 members of Congress now who have agreed to sit next to someone from the other party, but if last year is any indicator, it's not going to turn into much after the speech because people tend to devolve back into the same partisan fights and disagreements.
And each year the party who is out of power gets a response, and of course that's the Republicans this year. Their speaker will be Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels.
That's right. Mitch Daniels will do the Republican response, and we can't forget there's also a Tea Party response, which will be done by Herman Cain this year.
The speech is supposed to be all about policy, but it's also an election year, so President Obama will be going on the road. What else is he doing after that speech?
He's using something called Google Hangout, where he's going to take questions directly from the public right after the speech, so people can ask specifics about what he had to say. He can clarify some things the public might, have been confused about, or he can defend certain policies that people may not be happy about.
The next day, President Obama will be taking his show on the road, going to important swing states like Arizona and Iowa to try and reinforce the point. And Jen and I will be up on Capitol Hill to watch it all happen.